folks, how you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show. Yes, an hour early. I hope you all saw the notice on Facebook there. It's an hour early because I want it to be. There's no other explanation for it. I want it to be. So, anyway, let me get some my afternoon Nectar of the Gods coffee here, folks. Yes, the coffee. Hey, I got a question for you. I always like to ask every once in a while a question to get you thinking. Okay? You found your job. This leads into the first subject I want to talk about after the break. And that is, you get your job. You go, you fill out the app, you do all that. Next thing you know, they're calling you. And you get hired. And let me take you back to the application process. On the application, it said desired wage or salary. You put down what you want, right? Is that what you want, right? And you get hired, but they're not going to pay you what you want, are they? Okay, they're not going to pay you what you want. All right? They're going to pay you as minimal as they can because they'll say, well, there's other people that have been here longer than you, and so, we got to look at them, their seniority, there's this, there's that. Let's cut that crap out, okay? And let's just tell them, look, this is how much I want to make. I have done similar work, and I know what I'm doing, and that's just the way it is. And you may ask other people if they want the job you're hiring me for, and if they don't, I'll take it for the amount I want. Now, that's being a little pushy, and I don't suggest doing that. I'm just throwing out a scenario. But it seems like these people who are out in protest in front of these fast food joints are bullying these businesses in ways that to me is borderline illegal. They're being forceful in that they're telling these companies, you're going to pay us $15 an hour. Okay, and this leads me into my first subject that I want to talk about after the break coming up. And literally, here's something that I find to be very offensive. That someone who is barely out of freaking diapers, well, I shouldn't say that. They're out of high school, they're going into college, or they may not be going to college, and they want to be part of the workforce, or they're working themselves through college. They get one of these fast food jobs part-time. To do what? To have money. Right? It's a starter job. Okay? Starter job. Okay? It teaches you ethics, work ethics, discipline, responsibility, yada, yada, yada. Okay? If I owned one of the franchises, you ain't getting $15 an hour. Okay, that's just the way it's going to be. Don't like it? I'm sure there's other jobs you can do. Bye, have a nice day. I mean, that's just the way it is. I think these starter jobs, no matter where it's at, doesn't have to be a fast food place. Could be your mom and pop bookstore down on the corner, or your little tiny, convenience store on the opposite side of town or whatever. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a fast food place. It could be anything. Okay? But it's a starter job. All right? You dig where I'm coming from, dude? Okay? Folks, I'm going to take a little break. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. You can go to thewaynespearshow.weebly.com or email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. Don't wait until another natural or man-made disaster strikes. Have at least 72 hours of emergency gear near you at all times, and that includes food. Get your emergency food supply today. Go to freeamericaradio.us and at the top of the page, click on the emergency food supply link. Help your family by purchasing as much emergency food supply as you need. You'll be helping out your family and Free America Radio Network. Thank you. Mainstream science argues that if something can't be touched, measured, quantified, and duplicated in a laboratory, then it doesn't exist. According to this worldview, reality is an unconscious, non-personal mass of matter, which leaves no room for the existence of spiritual or unexplained phenomena. But is that all there really is to reality? Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman don't think so, and after reading this book, neither will you. In The Grid, paranormal investigators and best-selling authors Jones and Flaxman present their theory of the grid, a divine superstructure that includes multiple levels of existence, the entirety of which makes up our reality. Jones and Flaxman will show you how to release the limiting belief that this is all there is once and for all by exploring the grid, expanding your awareness, and empowering your life in the process. Reality, dear friend, will never be the same again. The Grid, Exploring the Hidden Infrastructure of Reality by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. Hey, folks, this is Wayne S. Pierce, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, right here for the 9th of September 2014 with the Wayne S. Pierce Show live. Yes, I'm live. It's not a podcast. I had a podcast earlier, but I had more to say, so here I am. How are y'all doing today? Are you happening? Are you there? You know, when you wake up, put your feet on the floor and stand up, you're doing pretty good, I think. I think. I don't know. Unless you have a massive hangover and then, yeah, your day is going to suck. So anyway. Hey, folks, I want to tell you about a show that is very good host, very direct, very focused, other than Pete Santilli and others, but this is Ashley Jones with her show Red Pill Radio Show over at alternatecurrentradio.com. And that's the Red Pill Radio Show with Ashley Jones over at alternatecurrentradio.com. Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. That would mean it's 5 p.m. Pacific. So there you go. It's a very good show. I was simply amazed, because I've heard her before on the Pete Santilli show. And when she came on every once in a while and spoke with Pete Santilli when Susanna Cole was gone. And very, very, very well, to me, I believe that she's very educated, and because of what she talks about and the clarity she has in those things, So I'm very, very pleased to promote that show. So anyway, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. We're usually live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, but we're here on a Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, a little bit after 3 p.m. Pacific, excuse me. Did I say Eastern? I'm so screwed up today. See, put your feet on the floor, stand up, and it's like, I just want to go back to bed. You know, I just want to go back to bed. Hang on just a sec. The Wayne S. Pierce Show, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. And the views expressed live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm scaling back a little bit. Not much. Still going to give you the truth with the facts and all that. But just going to scale it back just a tad. Just a tad. Okay? Nothing big, nothing to worry about for you. Hey, go on over to the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com site. That is the official website for this particular show. And I'm in the chat room. So if you want to chat with me, you can do one of two things, actually. You can go to Spreaker.com and look up Free America Radio Network, or go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com and chat with me there. I'm all over the place today, folks. So, here we have a president. I don't even want to call him a president. He's somebody taking up a suit in the White House, okay? He's taking up space. And we have all his cronies around him, okay? His cronies. One of them being Harry Reid. So you can go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page and check out that article I'll be reading here in a minute. I want to talk about, first, I want to put this out there, that I'm quite sure, I'm pretty positive, okay, that when you find a job, you're usually not going to start out making the kind of money that you want. Am I off base there, or are we on the same page? How much do you believe your experiences and your knowledge of whatever it is you're applying for is worth? How much do you think it's worth? I've got an electrical background. I used to work in construction. I've got an electronic background. I work on computers. I've got all sorts of warehousing background. I have kitchen background. I have theater background. I'm an actor as well. I know how much I'm worth in those positions. But if I were to go apply at some place and say, here's how much I want, I will take no less, do you think they're going to hire me right off? Okay. I don't think so. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. Matter of fact, I'm sure of it. They're not going to pay me what I want. And they're going to say, well, we've had people here who have been here a really long time, and so they have to, they want to advance, and they want to make it, and they want to do all that. And that's fine. I'm okay with that, okay? I'm fine with that. All right? But it just never really occurred to me at some level that a person that doesn't have the experience would ever want more money than what that position is really worth due to the lack of experience you have. Let me simplify that. I don't know why people expect to make more money on a really crappy job like a fast food job? I really don't know. Honestly, I don't really know. Have we not all worked in fast food? I have when I was younger. Okay? I have. I mean, seriously, I think we've all started out in some way, shape, or form in fast food. Now, let me say this in contrast to that. There are some really good managers out there, really good people. We've eaten at places where, some of the people on the counter just don't seem to want to be there. We get that air about them. But then most of the places we go, the people are just very helpful and they're right there, and the managers are like, is there anything you need? Boom. Those people are fantastic. And there is a very good career in fast food if that's what you want. But what I'm talking about is getting into the workforce. Getting into the workforce. You've gone to school 12, 13, 14, 15 years. You want to go to work. You go to one of these jobs, one of these places of businesses, and you put your application in, you get an interview, you get hired, but then they tell you, well, during the interview process, this has happened to me, well, we can't pay you this. You're looking for X amount. We can only pay you a couple of bucks, underneath that. Well, you need a job, so what do? You basically accept it. Now, I have gone to work for a place here in Reno. I applied. They hired me, but in the interview process, the person interviewing me said, I have to ask. I go, okay, ask. And this person said, well, you are overqualified to work here. Why do you want to work here? And my first thought was, I'm overqualified? That means I'm smarter than the management, okay? And this person asked me, why do I want to work there? I said, I got rent to pay. So they hired me right then and there. Boom. Done. That is the craziest thing I have ever heard in an interview process when I've applied for jobs. It's like, you're overqualified. My first thought, well, I'm what? And with all the experience I have in the various jobs that I have, I'm amazed that people don't recognize my experience and my knowledge and begin to move me up. I've only had that happen once, and that turned out to be a very good thing until things changed in the company. Personnel changes, different things, and then I'm out the door. So anyway, you're starting a job, you're getting out of school or you're going to school and you're trying to make it and you're trying to get your own money and, whatever. And you go to work for a fast food joint. Name one. You just go there. To me, that's a starter job. A starter job, meaning you learn responsibility, you learn work ethics, you learn scheduling, you learn this, you learn that, you try to, all this, that, and the other thing, right? Why would anyone working at McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell or whatever want to make $15 an hour walking in the door when their management probably does not even come close to making $15 an hour? This is the craziest thing I have ever heard in my life. I'm all for giving people a living wage, abolishing minimum wage altogether, implement a fair market living wage per region, because some regions have a higher cost of living and some don't, and go from there. But for a starter job, for a job that you may not be there 6 months from now, you want $15 an hour. Yeah, okay. I just saw some articles where they have built and are now using in some locations kiosks where the customer comes up, sees the pictures on the screen, punches those, that's what they want, pays for it right there, and in less than 5 minutes, their food's ready. Now take that and connect that with what else I've seen in the last several weeks. Hamburger making robots that do it a lot better than, and they've compared it, by the way, so this is not just my opinion. I've seen the comparison. The robot burger, or the burger made by robot, made automatically and all that without human hands touching it, looks better than the one made by the employee. I'm going to say this, that if people are struggling to wrap their mind around the fact that the technology has gotten to the point now where everything's automatic, almost, then there's a serious problem with your intellect. Okay? I remember looking back in history and looking at when the unions and Detroit started working together. Nobody's going to lose their job. It's not going to be whatever. The unions came in. They were there for a while, and then technology caught up with the manufacturing industry. And then they started using these robots here and there. And then if you go, there's no car companies in Detroit anyway right now, but if you go to a car company, you'll see everything's done by machine. They called that progress back then. They called it progress back then, and people did lose their jobs. Management lost their jobs. And thank you, Bill Clinton, for NAFTA and GATT. We now have car companies in Mexico. Mexico is the new Detroit, from what I hear. I cannot and will not accept these ideas that these far left liberal goons have about America. I'll go as far as saying this. Because of what they've done to this country. Oh, and Republicans, I've not left you out of this either. You are a bunch of progressive a-holes anyway. You backstabbing. I could go on, but I won't. You want the progression to continue because you are getting money from the corporations that actually run Washington, D.C. Let's take a look at one of the goons that really, really pisses me off. And I don't even recognize him to be a senator from my state of Nevada. I don't. To me, he's a piss poor excuse for a senator. And that would be Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. Western Journalism has an article that about Harry Reid that says Harry Reid and the Dems just took a big step toward changing the First Amendment forever. And this article was written by James Beatty, posted today at westernjournalism.com. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, Democrat of Nevada, and Senator Tom Udall, Democrat of New Mexico, wants to limit the First Amendment. First passed as part of the Bill of Rights December 15th, 1791. The cloture motion was agreed to Monday, 79-18, for SJR 19, SJR 19. Go look that up, startpage.com. A proposed constitutional amendment that would effectively amend the First Amendment. Reid said the proposal is about, quote-unquote, restoring freedom of speech for everyone. Really? Seriously? Seriously? Quote, their constitutional amendment is about restoring freedom of speech for everyone in America, whether you're a billionaire, a millionaire, upper middle class, lower middle class, poor or homeless, unquote. The Senate Majority Leader said of the proposed amendment. The proposed amendment, authored by Udall and sponsored by 45 other Senate Democrats, including Reid, would be the 28th Amendment of the United States Constitution. It reads as follows. Article 1, Section 1, to advance democratic self-government and political equality and to protect the integrity of government and the electoral process. Congress and the states may regulate and set reasonable limits on the raising and spending of money by candidates and others to influence elections. Well, it doesn't stop there, folks. Hang on. Section 2. Congress and the states shall have power to implement and enforce this article by appropriate legislation, whatever that may mean, and may distinguish between, get this, natural persons and corporations or other artificial entities created by law, including by prohibiting such entities from spending money to influence elections. Oh, and it doesn't stop there. What's the phrase? Third time's a charm? Well, here's section number 3. Nothing in this article shall be construed to grant Congress or the states to the power to abridge the freedom of the press. Interesting, isn't it? The article continues, the law targets 2010's Citizens United versus FEC, the Federal Exchange Commission, which struck down limits on money in politics, and 2014's McCutcheon versus FEC, which struck down limits on aggregate limits to the amount an individual could contribute to all candidates, political parties, and political action committees during a 2-year span. If passed, Congress and the states would have authorization to regulate and limit fundraising and spending on federal candidates. The Hill reports. That's the lefties' newspaper up there on the Capitol Hill. Furthermore, the United States Supreme Court, oh, get this, would not be able to reverse any future campaign finance legislation passed by Congress. Theodore Olson, former United States Solicitor General and now a partner with Gibson, Dunn and Crutcher, slammed the proposal in the Wall Street Journal op-ed Sunday prior to the cloture vote, saying, quote, voters, whatever their political views, should rise up against politicians who want to dilute the Bill of Rights to perpetuate their tenure in office, unquote. Quote, the critics ignore that Citizens United and McCutcheon make it easier for the unions of which the Democrats rely to spend money on elections. Unions outspent businesses by more than 2-1 in 2013. If money corrupts, then one would expect Mr. Reid and his colleagues to condemn the corrupt influence of unions in politics. And these Democrats would brand liberal billionaire Tom Steyer's pledge to commit his political action committee to spend $100 million to defeat Republicans in 2014 as especially corrupting, but Mr. Reid has instead welcomed the support. Unquote, although the amendment survived filibuster with several Republicans voting yea, the amendment has scant chance of passage, as any amendment to the Constitution requires 2/3 passage in both chambers, along with the support of 3/4 of the states. So in other words, that ain't going anywhere. Hey, I want to go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, or not Facebook page, the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com, and welcome the one and only Mr. Brian Lang from LiveTruthRadio.com. Check out his show, Live Truth Radio, on LiveTruthRadio.com at 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. It's an awesome show, and he's playing my show through his network right now at LiveTruthRadio.com. And go check that out as well. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that very much. Now, here we are. Oh, hey, bottom of the hour. Holy crap. I want to go to break, but I want to ask you a question first, because I really, really think that we really have to pay attention to what's going on. Seriously. I really think this is an appropriate question for the time that we currently live in. Okay? Looking across the landscape of this political field that we're in, my question to you is this. In 2008, people said we were ready for a woman president. In 2008, people voted for a half-black, remember that, folks, half-black gentleman by the name of Barack Hussein Obama. My question is, in 2014, coming up in the midterms and coming up for the 2016 presidential elections, starting next spring, are we ready for a woman president? If your answer is yes, who do you think it would be? If your answer is no, who don't you want to run? Because all indicators that I've seen say that Hillary is going to run unopposed. Okay? I'm just putting it out there. So I'm going to go to break. A little less than 2.5 minutes. I shall return. If you want to send me some email, you can. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com and support Free America Radio Network and this show. Thank you, and I shall return right after this. Are you tired of listening to boring online late-night radio? Then listen to Late Night in the Midlands with your host, Michael Vera, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight Eastern. Go to www.latenightinthe.midlands.com for more information.
Join the National Down Syndrome Society's My Great Story campaign
to honor and celebrate the amazing stories of the 400,000 Americans with Down syndrome.
If you have Down syndrome, tell us about your achievements, dreams, and aspirations.
If you know someone who has Down syndrome, tell us how they've inspired you.
Visit ndss.org/stories to share your great story.
Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. Waking up the masses. Truth, knowledge, and wisdom for your consumption. Waking up the masses. News and views concerning the New World Order. Waking up the masses. Join Bob Brutus as he pulls back the curtain on the esoteric agenda which has been in play for a millennia. Waking up the masses. WakingUpTheMasses.com.
Lock it on to the best station on the net, around the planet on the World Wide Web.
Hey, folks, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. Today, yes, I'm usually live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 noon, but hey, like I said, I'm scaling back the network just a bit. Still going to share with you the truth one fact at a time, but it's going to probably be in a different format. I'm changing a few things around, and you, my fellow listeners, can be a part of that growth. I'm taking this to the next level. I always say we, like I have a mouse in my pocket or something. But I'm taking this to the next level, and you can be a part of that. So if you want to contribute to the Free America Radio Network, you can. You can contribute to this show as well at thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com. I do take Bitcoin. I do take PayPal. I do, just whatever you want to do to donate, that'd be great. I know every time I talk about that, people are going, well, I just don't, I don't, but you're paying for your, little girly coffees over at Starbucks, aren't you? That latte is like, what, $5? If you can contribute that to Free America Radio Network, to the independent and alternative media, that would be awesome. Okay, so I appreciate that very much. Also, if you are a business, I would love to promote you. So you can advertise on this show or on Free America Radio Network. And all you got to do is ask. That's all. Go to the WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com site and go to the sponsors page. Check it out. It's not going to break your marketing budget. Trust me. Okay, so got questions? Ask me. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio Network. FreeAmericaRadio.us. Anyway, hey, let's go over here again in the chat. I've got Mr. Brian Lang from LiveTruthRadio.com. He is up there in Ohio, and he goes out on the overpasses almost every weekend. He's in the chat. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. But he's over there, and he supports overpassesforamerica.com with James Neighbors, and he has him on the show every Monday, and it is a fantastic show. And if you have a few hours on daily, really, to check out Live Truth Radio, go check out Brian Lang and LiveTruthRadio.com. Awesome show. He's got some really cool guests. Yeah, that's really cool. So, yeah. So anyway, hey, over there in his chat room at livetruthradio.com on his live on the live side, there's 10 people over there. I want to say hi. How you doing?